Hello and welcome to a game of Starcraft 2 between MorroW and SlideR. MorroW will be playing as the Zerg player at the lower left hand corner, and SlideR will be playing as the blue Protoss player at the upper right hand corner. The map is Xel'Naga Caverns, and this map both players have a rather large, irregularly shaped base, and outside their base there is going to be a natural expansion, but this natural expansion is pretty difficult to defend as there are 1 choke, 2 choke, 3 chokes, and 4th choke. This choke is a set of destructible rocks but can be broken down later on in the game, and we see SlideR is building a forge. Most players do like to build the gateway first, but it looks like SlideR will be selecting to have the early cannon pressure on his opponent, and MorroW is building an extractor. No spawning pool has gone down and no hatchery has gone down yet. He will have the extractor before the spawning pool. A very interesting choice for both players to open up this game, and as you can tell, this game is going to be really fascinating to watch, as we do see the pylon is going to be going up behind these minerals. This way he will reduce the surface area of this pylon being exposed to the drones or the Zerglings, and we see immediately MorroW will be taking some of his drones off the gas. He takes out 5 drones. We'll try to take down this pylon before the cannons are built. The cannons are going to go up right now, placing the cannon right next to the pylon. Very good idea, and I think MorroW should try to kill this probe over here, but he is attacking this cannon. This cannon is going to go down really fast as it does have 4 drones working on it. It does get cancelled. He does start working on the next one, and now 5 drones are attacking that one cannon. Additional drones are showing up. It will be tougher to surround these 3 cannons, but he's trying to do it. I think MorroW should really take care of the probe that's on the side. Looks like he will start engaging it. There are 3 cannons. There's absolutely no structures beside a forge right now, and another cannon inside the base of SlideR right now, and all the action is taking place outside of the natural expansion of MorroW, and it looks like MorroW will disengage here as the cannons do get the finish, and SlideR cancels the 3rd cannon. Will suffer a little bit of a loss, and I think MorroW has decided to do 1 base right now. He has put down the 3 drones back onto gas, and SlideR just started his gateway and double assimilator. This is a very weird game, as both players are trying to adapt to the double cannon that is outside the base of MorroW at the moment. And the 1 gateway is about 75% complete. If we take a look at the unit counting station, we see mostly harvesters, and there is going to be 1 queen out for MorroW. The 1 queen has spawned, and he has already injected the hatchery with those additional eggs, and there's going to be only 2 Zerglings. This is only 50 minerals worth of defense, whereas SlideR does have 150 minerals invested here and about 400 minerals invested here. And that's not counting the minerals he spent canceling those cannons. And metabolic boost will be researched for the Zerglings, as there's going to be 1 queen coming outside, and we do see another pylon being placed at around the 9 o'clock position directly north of the base of MorroW, as a cyber core is going to go down at the front of SlideR. SlideR does not have any units. All he has are probes at the moment, so if those Zerglings should actually attack, that would be a huge disadvantage for SlideR, as he's not planning to get any units anytime soon. He does have the 1 cannon here, getting a 2nd cannon, but if a flood of Zerglings were to encroach on his base, and we do see a double Stargate, this is going to be awesome. This is a really weird build for both players, as 1 queen is going to have he has 3 queens. He's probably going to send multiple queens on the duties to spread creep, and these 2 Stargates are going to be coming online momentarily, as a Roach Warren has gone down inside the base of MorroW, and there's going to be a pylon blocking the front ramp of SlideR. Very smart. We have seen other Protoss players do this and use the strategy with the Blink Stalkers. We will see if that is going to be true for this game, and SlideR, realizing he probably wants to reinforce this set of cannons, does put down another pylon there, and we will have to wait to see what will come out of these 2 Stargates, as they will really dictate the flow of this match. There's 1 Overlord flying to the base of his opponent. He doesn't see too much. He only sees, well, actually he saw everything except for that 1 cannon over there, and the Overlord has gone down to that 1 Stalker. The Zergling's running about the map. He does have map control at the moment, and he has expanded to the lower right hand position. This is really awkward for both players. There's going to be a double void ray coming out for SlideR momentarily. He does not have the chrono boost. Now he just got it, and he will be chrono boosting that slower void ray. You want to get the void rays in pairs, as they are more effective than in singles. And we do see double gas for MorroW at the moment, as there's a whole lot of roaches and zerglings on the field. If we take a look at the army count, 41 to 50, but that is expected as the Protoss player is focusing very heavily on just defending, and he does have those 2 cannons in his base. The Zerg player is now going to expand to the lower right hand position. There is going to be a missing base here, but he might try to take it down with these roaches. He is going to be shooting down that pylon, and as I said before, there are some void rays being built at the moment. This void ray cannot be made just yet as he doesn't have enough gas, and he's going to be making a Phoenix instead. MorroW and SlideR having a very awkward game so far. Both players pretty much about neck and neck in terms of minerals, but then MorroW does have a little bit more minerals because he does have the second base up and running. And SlideR is thinking about expanding at the moment, as there's going to be 4 void rays, 3 void rays, and 1 Phoenix momentarily, and we will see some huge harassment or perhaps game ending moment right here, right now. These void rays are flying inside, and for the first time MorroW will see it, and he's going to come in here. He's going to charge up on this queen. The queens outside are not coming in. He's going to give up this main base. Is that what he's planning to do? There's a bunch of units running across the middle of the map, and they are zerglings, and they're going to try to perhaps take out the expansion of SlideR, as MorroW is going to lose a lot of stuff here. He might be losing another queen. The zerglings do surround the nexus. We'll see. Ooh, it got cancelled, and there's a couple of units outside the base, and he does pylon up once again. Those cannons will keep him safe. The 3 void rays still up and running. There is going to be 1 Phoenix. This Phoenix will be able to pick up the queen should there be any more. There is going to be a Hydralisk Den about to be spawned at the lower right hand corner, and this game is very confusing at the moment, and I think there's an advantage for SlideR, but his opponent has expanded and he has scouted the expansion. But at the same time, SlideR doesn't really have that many ground units, as MorroW is supply block, or no, I mean, excuse me, SlideR is supply block at the moment, as he did lose some of those pylons, and there's going to be 3 Phoenixes and 3 Void Rays. None of these are hallucinations, and he's going to try to take down the Overlord, or maybe not. He can't really decide what he wants to do, as there is 3 Hydralisks and a couple of Queens out in the middle of the field, and he's going to try to defend here. He wants to keep all of his Overlords alive. He picks up 2 of those Hydralisks, and he's going to start losing units right here. One of the Void Rays goes down, and the second one is getting worked on. He's running away the Void Ray. He can pick up the Queen if he wants to. Ooh, he loses the Void Ray. That is a little bit of a bad micro from SlideR. SlideR could maybe pick up the Queens. He didn't have enough energy. Oh, and now he has to run back. Zerg player is rebuilding his base. If we take a look at the unit count, 27 drones versus 33 pros, but the Protoss player cannot expand, as he's putting the cannons outside his base to try to grab that natural expansion. He really needs it, and we see a lot of very pretty creep being spread by multiple queens right now. The Protoss player is making a ton of stuff. He's trying to spend all of his money. He has a ton of minerals and gas pile up. That is not something you want to see as a Protoss player, and that looks like 4 buildings on... Oh no, that is 3 buildings on 1 pylon. 4th building over here. So there is 4 buildings on that 1 pylon. Not a great idea. The 3 Phoenixes are on the left side of the map, while MorroW is macroing up incredibly well, and he's going to be grabbing his 2nd expansion and 3rd base very shortly. The unit count is at 48 to 62, but we see a lot of ground units for the Zerg player, not so much for the Protoss player, as he only really has 1 Stalker and 1 Sentry and 1 Void Ray, and there is 3 Phoenixes flying around the map trying to harass these Overlords, and he will be able to supply block his opponent. Both players have been supply block at one time or another so far in this game, and he does pick up the Queen. Won't be able to snipe the Queen. I think he only has 2 of those Phoenixes working on it, and it looks like MorroW will be spawning 3 additional Queens. He does drop the Queen. He needs to pick it up or run away, and he does the Overlord, and he also kills off the Queen. This 1 hatchery is about to go up, but at the same time, MorroW is being supply block at the moment, and it looks like he is hurting quite a bit. He will need to make a lot of Overlords, and we just saw 9 creep tumors go down. MorroW really wants to spread the creep and keep the vision and prevent his opponent from expanding. And right now it's 3 bases, not really 3 bases, more like 1 base plus a 4th, I would say, versus 2 base Protoss. If we take a look at the income tab, both players are still about the same, and the Zerg player actually has more gas intake than his opponent, and that's not true anymore, as he just put down some probes on the gas line and picking off this Queen. I think that's all the Protoss player SlideR can do at the moment, is harass. He is working his way up to a Colossus. His first Colossus is being built, and there's going to be a +1 weapon. I think he cancelled it. or no, he just finished it, and there's going to be a lot of action very, very quick as these creep is getting spread. There's 13 roaches and 2 zerglings for the Zerg player MorroW, and there is some sentries and some zealots, and I think there's going to be 1 Colossus coming up very shortly as the thermal lands and the Colossus are being chrono boosted at the moment. And we see some very heavy upgrades for the roaches, the Gliero Constitution to increase their speed, the range for the Hydralisk, and as well as some spine crawlers being placed throughout the map. And it looks like there's no saturation on the space so far, and a Spore Crawler is going to be placed down on that location. That is a very good idea. That will deter these 3 Phoenixes. 3 Phoenixes are not really what you want to deal with against those Spore Crawlers, and they will try to pick up this 1 roach. I don't think it's going to go down as it is an armor unit, and the Phoenixes do heavier damage to lighter units, and ooh, it does fall down. He could probably pick it up if he wants to, but that might be a waste of energy. It might be better spent trying to kill off a queen or something else. And 1 roach will make it into the base, and we'll see that his opponent SlideR does have that 1 Colossus, so he has an idea what his opponent is going for, and it will be Colossus. If we take a look at the income tab right now, we'll see the Zerg player does have an advantage, a huge advantage as a matter of fact, about 70-80% more income in terms of minerals, but he does have less gas as he's not focusing as much on gas as the Protoss player is, and the second Colossus is out on the field, and there is a ton of zealots. If we take a look at the army sizes right now, it's going to be about 105 to 106, still very, very close between these 2 players. It's still anybody's game, and there's a lot more cannons and pylons going up right now. And if we take a look at the unit composition, we see a lot of roaches, 20 roaches, 3 Hydralisks versus a lot of zealots. Zealots is not really something you want to do against roaches and Hydralisks because they have that range and they can micro back and forth, especially on creep. There's so much creep. He really needs to possibly get 1 or 2 observers and start destroying this creep if he wants to keep control, and he will start doing just that. The +1 armor is almost done for the Protoss player as MorroW is getting ready to fight. He really wants to protect these. That's a lot of creep tumors. I've never seen so many creep tumors on one screen. And they are going down rather quickly. But that will just lessen his vision. He still has some creep tumors on the left side. Ooh, 4 good force fields, and he's going to be able to kill off, it looks like 5 or so roaches. And the army loss shows both players are about the same at this point, separated by 125 minerals or so. And these roaches want to re-engage because they want to engage whenever the Protoss player does not have force field, and he's spreading them out, which is a good idea, but now he's chunking them up again. And 1 roach will get picked up by the Phoenix. The Phoenix is still microing around, trying to pick up some units, and they're working on these overlords, and it looks like SlideR does have a slight advantage right now as he's pushing in with these 2 Colossus. An additional Colossus is going to be coming around, and it looks like MorroW is trying to go for the surround as he's going to surround his units. A lot of force field going on the south side and the north side as well. He has picked off 1 of the Colossus, but the second Colossus is going to go down as well, and there's nothing left but Stalkers at the moment, and 1 sentry. Looks like he might want to pop a Guardian Shield as he does not have enough energy. But those were pretty good, well-placed force fields, but MorroW did move into the trap of... SlideR did move into the trap of MorroW. He's going to force field the ramp, but there's nothing coming to re-engage, and the drones are coming off the line to help these Stalkers might think about retreating as there's a lot more roaches on the way. Army sizes right now at 72 to 103, a large advantage for the Zerg player as he does have 3 bases and more income, I think. And yes, he does. He does have about 500 more in terms of minerals, but about 200 less in terms of gas, and these Stalkers are trying to run back, and once off the creep, the roaches are no longer as quick. Wow, that was really action-packed. 1-1 upgrades for the Protoss player, 1-0 upgrades for the Zerg, and the 3 Phoenixes with their kills from a long time ago still very much alive. The production facilities of the Protoss looks like about 5 gateways and 1 robotics facility. And these Stalkers are once again coming out to kill off some of these creep tumors. Creep tumors do give a huge advantage to the Hydralisks as well as the roaches because it increases their speed so much. And this game all started with the cannon and the Stargate. It's amazing what it has turned into this. Both players still are in it, I think. And if we take a look at the army size right now, 84 to 136. MorroW does have a commanding lead, and if he can maintain it, and he's going to double expand, I think he knows he has a really good lead. And SlideR is in a little bit of trouble here. He is trying to get his 3rd base up and running, and I don't think MorroW has scouted there just yet, as SlideR is going to come in here and possibly take down this hatchery. He does have some sentries, and those sentries could put down